5, 4, 3, 2, where the ones go. This is show, push your front row. Talking bro, that's your love show. Money over, and above. That is still my favorite love quote. Put the gun aside, what the fuck? I sleep with the gun. If she don't know, what the yo, where the love go? Straight to ski mask, put them on so. It's a blood bath, what is love?
We are live!
If she empty, let the drugs go. If she simply, double cup toast. I got a duffel full of windows. That'll love go. Where's the up go?
It's Saturday night. I had to hype the music up a little bit.
5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Stop, get the go. I don't go.
Virtual pink party number 7.
Where the love go?
MoonShine.
5, 4, 3, 2, I let one go. Stop, get the go. I don't
Got a lot of paintings this week. Record-breaking weekend. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
I don't bluff, bro. I come out the scuff for without a scuff, bro. Pop, pop, bro.
Gonna wait for some people to get in the room. I'm just gonna babble on while they get here. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining me.
There's how it won't go. Treat the jungle. We have the utmost for the nutsos. And we nutso. What the fuck?
MoonShine in fabulous Las Vegas at my downtown studio, the Two Chick Art Studio, 521 South 7th Street in fabulous Las Vegas. It was a beautiful day. Almost like 80 degrees, I think. You should be here. How's the lighting? Think we like it?
I like my lunch, bro. Just look up, bro.
Thank you. I have my wonderful assistant here. I'm gonna reveal her shortly. I hope you have your music going. Hope you have your wine. I'm gonna talk about my wine a little bit because I'm not getting paid for this. So,
Anthony and Marissa.
thank you. I am drinking Firefly Ridge from the central coast of California. It is a 2018 Chardonnay. You all know that Chardonnay is my favorite. Unfortunately, it's a screw top, so I don't know where that's going to lead me. But I love the description. The description on the back kind of sold me. It says toasted oat, vanilla, and butter. Those are my favorites. In my favorite wine glass. So let's see. This is my first time tasting it. Sometimes I'm drinking before we start. This time I'm sober, so. Let's see. Firefly. Is that what it is? Firefly, yeah. I'm okay with Firefly. I'm okay with Firefly. Okay. It's oaky, it's buttery, it's a little complex. It's not like that other wine yesterday. What did I have yesterday? Oh, you weren't here. It was not memorable. That's what that was. Anyway, Firefly. I would pick this up if you're a Chardonnay drinker. Firefly Ridge. Around $10. I hope, what are you drinking? I like to talk a little bit in the beginning because you're going to be painting and you're not going to want to talk to me. So what are you drinking? Is it a pina colada day? Is it a daiquiri day? Or is it a Chardonnay day? Okay, check it out. We're doing MoonShine. For those of you who are first-time painters, thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you have a good time. I hope your week has not been too challenging. I know it's been rough. I look forward to painting with you. It is my therapy, and I hope it is therapeutic for you as well. And I hope you come to look forward to Friday and Saturday night, because I've been doing this every Friday and Saturday. Yes. So on Monday I'll have the new painting for the next week. So tune in on Monday to see what we're painting. So we're doing MoonShine today. Usually it's about 25 bucks to paint with me. But I'm doing a quarantine special, only $15. And for $15, you got curbside pickup. You pulled up, and I personally loaded your car with all the supplies you needed today. It came in a plastic bag, and that's just not any plastic bag. You can use that plastic bag to protect your whatever surface that you're painting on. We're painting with acrylic paints today, so you can use that to protect. Also has my little logo and information. Hang on to that. You also got your paints, all your mixing paints, a little mixing tool here, and a little baggie full of lots of stuff that we're going to use today. So inside that cup, some of you had it inside your cup, some of you had it in your baggie, was an apron. So you're going to open that apron up, fully open it up, pull it over your head. That cup you need to fill halfway with water, because we're going to need that. And what I want you to do is I want you to open these paints, because we're going to get to getting. We're going to get into this. Any comments? Anybody saying anything? Say hi when you come in the room, please. Everybody ready? What are you drinking? Okay. You're going to have to open your paints, and you're going to have to take them off of this paper plate, because we're actually going to use the paper plate. And I know some of you are a little nervous because you got a blank canvas. Sometimes I trace. This time, we are not tracing. But I hope this looks easy. What I want you to do is, I want you to take a look at your reference photo that came in your packet, okay? Every kit that I put together, there's a reference photo. That's for all you OCD people, the people that are going to be obsessed with creating this image just like this. So please don't be obsessed. It takes a little bit of the fun out of it. This Paint Party 101, use your creative energy. If you want to change the face, if you want to change the rays, if you want to change anything, go ahead and change it. You know what? I forgot to introduce my co-host. As I'm looking at her cute little face here. My wonderful co-host today is Miss Liza Daniels. Yay! Are you eating a sucker? Are you really eating a sucker? Okay. Okay, so and what Liza will be doing is she'll be looking at the screen and she'll be shouting out any questions, because sometimes people say I go too fast, too slow, whatever, mostly too fast. Or if you have any questions about anything, go ahead and put them in there, and then Miss Liza will let me know, because I can't see that far. Actually, I can see Lisa and I can see Jewel here. Hi!
Yeah, Erica is also here. Lenora is on
Lenora. Hey, Lenora, we're going to do some shout-outs later. Okay, so, reference photo, just for reference. If you're obsessed with making it look just like this, you don't have to. Paint Party 101. That means you're not going to learn anything fancy here. We're going to mix a couple colors, well, 1 or 2 colors, but nothing fancy, okay? So use your own creative energy. If you want to change the face of the sun or the moon or do something really cool, go ahead, it's your painting, okay? So what we're going to do, we're going to get this party started. Got 16 people in the room, which is super cool. So it was a record-breaking weekend. So some people, they like to just watch me paint, and then they paint themselves by themselves. They'll watch the replay. So you can do that, or you can paint along with me. So just so you know, usually we paint, you know how when you're on the computer and it's portrait? We're not painting portrait, we're painting landscape. So you're going to turn your canvas lengthwise here. This is a 16 by 20 canvas, which was also, of course, included in your kit. I didn't have any more easels to give away. So now I sell easels. So you can buy an easel for just $7. Oh no, my reference photo. Can you get that, Liza? Never mind, I can get it. I love being live, because you never know what might happen. I might fall off the stool. I keep saying that. I hope I never fall off the stool. Okay, look. I'm putting the reference photo up there. That was in the kit as well, of course. And for those of you who have painted with me before, you know what's next. We're going to put a light coat of water on our canvas. I got to get my music playing a little bit here, because that's important for me. And it's also important for me to say I do not own the rights to this music, because it kind of messed up a couple of my videos, but it didn't mess up the last one, so I'm going with it. Okay, so light coat of water. I'm in my sponge brush. With my sponge brush, I'm putting a little bit of water on the top of my paintbrush here. Not dripping, soaking wet, but I just want to put a light coat on here. And what we're doing is we're activating the canvas so it's ready to accept paint. And we even go ahead and put a little water on the sides too, okay? Because we're even going to paint the sides. Where's my music at, Liza? Oh, here we go. Okay, so just a light coat of water. Very simple, right? If you put too much water on there, you can take that very absorbent blue paper towel that's in your kit and kind of dab it off a little bit if you got too much on there. We don't want it dripping, okay? I'm going to wait for you guys to do that because I know I did that pretty quickly.
Doug says, I want to get this for Misty to do with you. Can you hook a brother up?
I actually just this week created kits to go. So now, just DM me or send me a message on Facebook and I can send you the pay link and you can get a kit to go and we can paint together. I also created a YouTube channel so you can go on YouTube and paint at your convenience. So yeah, I've been busy, very busy. Okay, so once you put that light coat of water on there, we're gonna use this paper plate for more than just mixing today. So you're gonna go into your kit and you're gonna get your piece of chalk. Hopefully it's not white, because if it's white, it's not gonna show up. If it's white, I don't think it's white, because I pack things myself, but if you did happen to get a white piece of chalk, I'm sorry. You should probably go get a pencil. Most of them are colored, like mine is pink. And what we're gonna do is, we're gonna trace this circle. Now, let's take a step back. I want you to take a good look at your reference painting. For those of you, reference picture. For those of you that are super nervous about this whole process, I just want you to take a look at it and study the picture. All it is really is a circle with some fancy stuff around it. That's it. The moon is inside the circle. There's a lot of stuff going on the face. There's a lot of stuff going on in the background. That's it. So relax. This is a relaxing experience. So just like you saw that one. Okay? Just like that. That's all you gotta do. It's just a circle with a lot of stuff going on. So with that paper towel, you're gonna put that paper towel, the paper plate, you're gonna center it in the middle of your canvas, and then you're going to go around it with the chalk and trace a circle. You have Liza to thank for this process, my beautiful daughter, because I did mine freehand when I painted it, and she's like, everybody can't draw a circle like that, Mom. I'm like, really? And she's like, yeah, really. So anyway, mine's a little off-center, and I'm okay with that. You guys are gonna have to be a little forgiving because I'm painting sideways. So, yeah, it's not gonna be perfect. My objective is not to be perfect. My objective is to take you 90% through this painting, give you the lay of the land, leave you to use your creativity to finish the painting up, and then post what you've done. So that's how it works. I forgot to tell you that in the beginning. So that's how it works. I take you 90% through the painting, give you the lay of the land, how to do all the fancy stuff, which is not that fancy, but you know what I mean. And then I go away, and then I can't wait to see all your pictures. So anyway, relax, okay? So just relax. Okay. So we got our circle. Everybody got their circle? I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for you. I had to play hype music today because, I don't know, I was feeling like I needed some hype music today. Okay, so I got the circle in the middle. Guess what we're gonna do next? We're gonna paint the background blue. So I'm gonna trace the circle with blue paint and I'm gonna paint the whole background blue. That's not hard, right? Okay, so let's get to it. If you're resting this paintbrush in your water, you're gonna squeeze it out. You don't want that much water in it. You can squeeze it out with your hand. I usually get really messy when I paint. Or you can squeeze it out with the paper towel. We're gonna go right into the blue paint. We're gonna go around the circle. Ooh. Did you see that?
Yeah.
I think it's fun when I make mistakes. Okay, there's a circle. Then we're gonna paint the background in blue. Okay? That's simple. So let's do that. Let's paint in blue. Let me see what other songs. I'm gonna paint this one song. Liza, do you have any questions for me? Oh, I know what I want to do. I want to do shout outs. But you can ask me a question first. want to play. I like instrumentals because it kind of throws everything out. This is a nice little instrumental that I play all the time. One of my favorites. I did want to hike for a minute, but this is kind of tedious. And you're going to ask me questions, and they need to be able to hear me.
Erica said, "Is that just blue?"
This is just blue. It's called bright blue.
And can you do private paint parties?
I can do private paint parties. Was asked to do one recently for Erica. It's her birthday, so it'll be my first private party. On Facebook, we're gonna create a private group so everybody can't go, and we're gonna mail kits out, and people from all around the country, your whole family's gonna be painting with her. That's gonna be cool. Oh no, I got paint on my shirt. We're painting with acrylic paints today. They wash very easily off your skin, not so easily off your clothes. So if you like what you have on, put that apron on.
Sharon says fun.
Hi, Sharon. I am painting with long vertical strokes, as many vertical strokes as I can. When I get close to the circle, then of course I'm going to curve my brush a little bit. I don't usually paint with a sponge brush. We're using a sponge brush for coverage. Everything in your kit is disposable except for the easel. If you have an easel that you borrowed from me, I'll get it back after the quarantine's over. Okay? I just wanted you to have all the tools that you needed to paint. So this is me painting sideways. And I'm painting fast. Don't worry about it because I'm going to stop for you to catch up. Long strokes. Then when I get towards the bottom here, I'm going to curve my brush a little bit. And I'm just using the tip of my paintbrush. I'm not totally dunking it all in there, so just the very tip of my paintbrush. If your paint's a little sticky and it's not flowing the way you want, just put a little tiny bit of water on your brush. Again, I'm going to take you 90% through the painting, and then you get to have fun and do the other 10% by yourself. But don't worry, you'll be totally comfortable by the time that I leave you. I try to take a little under an hour. I've been averaging about 45 minutes with the paint sessions. Yes. Huh? On the side of it?
Yeah.
I know. I'm just trying to get it from the camera. But make sure you paint your sides. Alright? I'm resting my paintbrush on the paper plate. I'm not putting that sponge brush in the water. That's so funny because it's so not in the middle, and I'm so okay with that because it doesn't matter. It's art, right? There are no mistakes. So mine doesn't look all fancy or anything like that, right? I'm going to do some shout outs while you guys are painting your blue background, and I'm going to drink some more Firefly Ridge, which I'll never remember the name. I'll keep looking at it like 500 times. Never get the name right. If they were paying me, I'd get the name right. But until then.
Aaron says wait.
Aaron?
Yeah.
Okay, so. I'm waiting for you to complete the blue background. I'm just going to do some quick shout outs here. Tanya, thank you so much for painting with me today. Leandra, thank you for you and your crew. Holly, thanks for coming back. Maritza, thank you. She's been painting with me a lot. Donabella Logan, I think you're a new timer, so thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope I'm not going too fast for you. Nora, thank you so much. She's painted with me quite a few times. Melissa, Erica, Kayla, Shoshana, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ernestine, I wonder if you're painting with me today. I didn't write your name down. If I missed you, which I'm sure I did because there was a lot of people this weekend, what do they say? Charge it to my head and not to my heart. Okay? Because I appreciate all of you. Make sure you post your pictures. That's my absolute favorite part. Okay? Besides painting with you. Okay. So what are we going to do now? If you look at your reference photo, half of the blue is lighter than the other half. Okay? So what we're going to do is we got to do a little imaginary line. I still have blue on my paintbrush. I'm going to take a little tiny bit of my white paint and I'm going to put it on my mixing tray, also known as a paper plate. You can kind of see it there. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lighten up. I'm going to draw like a little imaginary line right here. And I'm going to lighten up half of the blue. And the way I'm going to lighten it up is, I got to move my canvas back a little bit because I don't want to move forward. I'm going to just go right into my white paint and I'm going to add a little bit of white on there to lighten it up a little bit. Now you're going to add a little bit of pressure with this sponge brush and it's going to mix right on your canvas. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can mix right in your mixing tray. I like to mix right on the canvas. So I'm just mixing a little bit of white in there. Just a tiny bit of white to lighten it up a little bit. I'm going to add this a little bit more. Paying attention to that line I have there. I'm using the very flat of my sponge brush now, not the tip. I'm using the side of it and I'm kind of blending it in because I don't want it to look stripy. You want to blend it like when you're doing eyeshadow or something. Like blend it in. It's not a lot of water on here, but if you're having trouble and it's not laying down the way you want, you can add a little tiny bit of water from your paintbrush, from your water cup. It's okay that I'm dripping in the middle a little bit. And I'm going to blend it in. I'm going to take my blue paper towel and I'm going to wipe those drips off in the middle. And that's okay, because we're going to paint that. It's perfectly fine. There are no mistakes. Happy little accidents, right? Now I'm going into, after I do that side, I'm going to go into my black paint. Because if you look at your reference photo, there's a little black paint going on on the left side. So I did this side lighter. I want this side to be a little darker. So I'm doing the same thing, but now I'm doing it with black paint. Adding a little bit of black with the tip of my paintbrush. Any comments, Liza? Everybody's focused and painting? So I'm using the tip of my paintbrush, putting a little black in there, paying attention to that line of symmetry, like that one little line that we put in the middle there. I want it to be dark right there. Now I don't want it to look so stripy. Look how stripy it looks. That's not good. If you look at the reference photo, it doesn't look stripy like that. So I'm going to blend it in a little bit with a little bit of water. And then if it's still looking stripy, because you know that black paint is very powerful, I'm going to go right back into my blue paint and I'm going to go right over the black and blend it in a little bit. So it doesn't look like much, but the painting's going to come together. I really like to tell people too to get your phone out and take pictures step by step, because you're going to be shocked and amazed at your masterpiece. Okay? So now I'm lightening it up a little bit by adding the blue, so it doesn't look, adding a little bit of blue right on top of the black, kind of blending it just a little bit, softening up those lines so it doesn't look so stripy. I'm going to wait for you to catch up. Any comments, Liza? I'm going too fast. People just watching at this point.
Yeah, you're just watching.
Who's all watching? We have 17 people in the room, over 50 painters this weekend. So everybody, I guess, is going to watch the replay. Which that's okay. I'm adding a little bit more blue to the background. I've blended it with some water. I've painted on top of the black, so I'm getting it a little bit darker. And then I'm stopping right here because on the other side, I want it to stay lighter. With me, I'm resting the sponge brush not in the water. I'm resting it on my paper plate, never in the water. I'm going to put a little bit of blue, more blue on there, because I want to lighten it up a little bit. I like this plate because it looks kind of sloppy, and I hope it's encouraging you as you're painting, because it's all going to come together in the end. I promise you it will. Okay? I want to kind of wipe this space right here where I got a little dripping stuff going on. I'm resting that sponge brush on my paper plate. Then I'm going to take that chalk. I'm going to wait for you guys to catch up a little bit. I'm getting paint all over my shirt, but I guess it doesn't really matter, does it? It kind of blends in a little bit.
You have some on your arm.
I have it on my arm. I'm a messy painter. I like messy painting. I have it everywhere. Okay? Okay. So, how's everybody doing?
Vanessa says, I forgot I'll be there Tuesday.
That's funny. It's okay if you forgot, because you can always watch the replay on my page, or Monday you can watch it on my YouTube channel. So it's okay if you forgot. Okay. Next I want to draw the crescent moon. So you know how we have this line going down the middle of our circle? That's like the line of symmetry. When we draw the crescent moon, I'm using that chalk. I'm going a little bit past that line. If you look at the reference photo, it actually starts a little bit past half. And then just think of yourself as drawing like a letter C. And it's going to have to go past the line on the bottom as well. So this is the line of symmetry right in the middle. And it's going to start maybe one finger past that line, and you're going to draw a big C. It's going to come down on the other side. Mine is pink, yours might be yellow. I'm not sure what color yours is. What we're going to do next is we're going to use the blue handle paintbrush, and we're going to do yellow. And then the painting's going to start coming to life. You excited, Liza? I can tell you're excited. So I'm just going right into my yellow paint. I always tell people, we outline first and then we paint it in. And I know you're looking like it's not covering up the blue, but I'm going to show you a trick for that a little later. Now this is a little brush. Like if you're going to paint with me a lot, I would recommend that you buy more paintbrushes, because I had to try to pick paintbrushes that came in a multi-pack that you guys could throw away after one use. So unfortunately, I couldn't find bigger brushes like that. So it might take you a little while. I'm scooping quite a bit of paint on here to get the coverage I need. Going right into this. Outline it first. I'm going right on top of that chalk line so I know where my yellow needs to stop. And then I'm just filling it in. I actually kind of went over the line there, but I'm going to fix that later with some white paint. So I'm filling it in, filling it in, filling it in. I'm going fast. But I'm going to give you a little time to catch up and kind of chat with Liza a little bit. So I just want you to see what that looks like. What I just blew off there is I can see the chalk in my glue at the bottom. So. All right, so you're probably thinking, hey, I can still see a little bit of blue. Well, I have a little bit of white on my paper plate here, and I'm gonna cover up some of those blue lines with the white. You can just go right into your white. Make sure you use the white that's on your plate because you don't wanna mess up the white paint that you have on your, in your cup, because we're gonna need that later. All right, now you may have noticed that I kind of didn't leave enough space here for my crescent. So I'm just gonna paint it in because on the camera I want you to be able to see that that's supposed to be white. So it's crossing over here, there's my C right there.
Aaron says the speed is scary.
Look, it looks like a preschooler. That's the first step, look at it. It's all gonna come together though, I promise you. I love doing this because I'm gonna wait for you for a little bit to paint in your yellow. I was going fast, like I said before. I was going fast so that I can chat while you catch up. So look at it. It doesn't look like anything special, does it? No, it doesn't. But it's all gonna come together in the end, I promise you. Okay, Liza, any questions for me?
Which one do you prefer, the moon or the sun, and why?
The moon or the sun? Which one do I prefer? Oh, because MoonShine? Okay. I prefer the sun. I prefer the sun. I'm from Michigan. The sun doesn't shine that much. And I've been in Vegas for quite a while now, and I love Las Vegas. I love the sunshine. So, I like the sun better. Any other questions? So we got the yellow down, and now I want to play around with the moon. And if you look at the moon, if you look at your reference painting, it's actually gray with some white, heavy white highlights on it. So how do you get gray? We're gonna mix some more. So I have a little bit of white already still on my mixing tray here. If you don't, put a little bit of white on there. I'm gonna take a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of black paint and mix it with my gray, with my white, and I'm gonna make gray. See that? It just takes a tiny bit. As a matter of fact, I feel like I got too much. So I'm gonna go and put just a tiny bit more white and make gray. And I'm going to fill in my moon. Painting right on top of those chalk lines.
Tiffany says, I love it. It's a beautiful picture, and yes, from Michigan.
Thanks, Tiffany. Outlining it first. Smoothing out those lines. Because they're kind of bumpy. Try to get those chalk lines out of the way there. My paint's getting kind of sticky, so I'm adding some water to it. I just dumped right into my, the water and right back onto the canvas. And I'm just smoothing it out a little bit. Not a lot of water, I don't want it to drip on my painting. But I need it to be a little bit smoother. Dunk it into my water. I need a little bit more gray paint. And there's a specific order that we go through when we're painting because acrylic paints dry fairly easily. And like to do the sun rays, we have to go over this blue paint. So I want it to dry a little bit. So I'm leaving some gaps of white in here. It's not totally solid gray.
Tiffany says, how often do you have these paint parties?
I try to do it every Friday and Saturday while the quarantine is in effect. But I think I might go down to once a week. But right now, next week, I'm doing it Friday and Saturday again. So Monday, I'll be posting what the picture will be. All right, so, oops, bad song, not a family song there. Okay, maybe not a good song either. Hold on, what's next? Okay, I think that one is a song. Okay, Liza's like cracking up over
I was
here.
gonna say something. She'll let it play out.
Okay. I hope everybody's doing okay. Oh, this is my plug-in. This is my battery is low. We're plugged in. We're live. You better be plugged in.
Do you want me to check over there?
We're good. Okay.
Check.
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
All right. That would really be bad. Okay,
Yes,
so
you want me to check?
you can check. I'm pretty sure that we're good.
Karen says that I am not okay, and Aaron says this is fun.
You're not okay? Okay, hold on. I'm going to hold on while you catch up a little bit. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chalk and I'm going to do some rays. So if you just follow you can follow the reference photo, or you can just do your own little fun rays coming out here and there. I'm just going to do my own little fun rays. Okay. Those are my own little fun rays that I made up. I am going to work on the face just a little bit more of the sun.
Lisa Edmund says, having a great time. Thanks for doing this.
Yay, thank you. So I'm putting another coat of yellow because I can still see some of my blue little drippings in there and I don't like that. But I want to also show you how to make orange. There's a lot of red going on in the painting and there's orange going on in the painting. To make orange, when you start working on all the details, we're just going to take a little bit of yellow, put it on my mixing tray. I'm going to lift a little bit of red, and I'm going to add it, and I'm going to make orange. And what I'm doing with that, I'm just going to add a little bit of orange into the face of the sun. If you look at the reference photo a little closer, you can see that you can see the orange in there. And it's just so random. I'm going to, at this point, try to smooth out my edges just a little bit. Then at this point, washing off my paintbrush really, really good. And if you notice, like those rays are a lot of fun colors. To get those fun colors to really stand out, I'm going to kind of prime that area a little bit by putting white down first. And then I'm going to paint over it the fun yellow, and I'm going to paint over it the fun red, and all those different colors. But I'm going to put this on here first, because I want the yellow to really, really stand out. I have quite a bit of paint on my paintbrush. And I'm really not paying that much attention to being perfect and all that good stuff. Because as I add all those fun colors to it, you can change the shape anytime you want. So I'm just kind of putting this down, kind of like a primer, because I really want the yellow to really stand out. Ooh, gotta change this song too. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so I like this because it gives you a chance to catch up. Replace some Maxwell, that's safe. Liza's like cringing over here, like, Mom, what are you playing? Okay, so laying the foundation for the rays, I have white on my paintbrush, right? So while I have white on my paintbrush, I'm going to add a few highlights to the moon. Because you always want to kind of work with the color that you have on your paintbrush. And if you notice, there's a little rim around the sun, so I'm just going to use the flat of my paintbrush. This is where your creative influence is really going to come in, or you could be totally obsessed with doing it like mine. All right? Remember, I'm only taking you 90% through the painting, then the rest is up to you. So I'm showing you all these techniques, laying down the white primer for the rays. I have white on my paintbrush still. And I noticed there's a lot of white little spikes coming out from the moon. So I'm going to go ahead and do those. Just totally random. And at the end of each of those rays is a little dot. So I'm using the corner of my paintbrush and I'm just doing little dots. That look like fun? Yes, Angelique, okay. In between those rays, there's also some lines. I'm trying to go everywhere there's white paint since I have white on my paintbrush right now. Putting little dots at the end of those. Okay? Look at it coming to life. I'm getting excited. Remember, I'm painting on an angle, so mine isn't totally perfect, but you're getting the gist of it. I was having fun with this painting when I was painting it, and I started adding so many different things, I was like, oh my God, I better stop. But I want to encourage you to change the face if you don't like the face, to whatever you want to do.
Aaron says a little slower, please.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry, Aaron. Okay. So 90% through the painting. What are we at? 45 minutes here? So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to show you how to put all the little decorative things on the rays of the sun. I'm going to leave you to do the face yourself. Is that bad?
No.
That's not bad, is it, Liza? Okay, I'm going to take Liza's advice. It's not bad. So I've laid the foundation for the sun rays, right? So all we have are different colors going through the rays. There's a little red, there's a little orange, there's a little white. Fire. I'm not getting paid for this, but it's pretty good. Okay. Every time you're changing colors, you swish the brush around in the water. You wipe it off on your paper towel. This is the really super fun part, I think, because you get to play around with all the designs. But what I'm going to do first is I'm going to work with the black again. I'm going to go, I wash my paintbrush out, I'm going to go into the black with a little tiny dip, and I'm going to outline the moon. That nose right there, you're going to have to freehand, or You can use your chalk to do it. It's kind of like a triangle coming out there with a little swirl on the end. You don't have to put the nose in there if you don't want to. But now that you see the nose, you see how it went into the yellow a little bit? I'm going to go into the white paint that I have on my mixing tray. I'm washing my brush out a little bit, going into that white paint on my mixing tray, and I'm going to cover his nose up white so the moon really shows. You guys with me on that? Hope so. Hope so. If that nose was a little complicated for you, I'd take the chalk first, chalk it in, and go over your chalk line. You see it coming together? I get so excited! I'm really excited, you can tell. Liza's looking at me like, Mom, please stop. Okay, look. Everything else is just fun details. Really. Really, just fun details. You can I want you to look at every area of your painting and see how you want it to look. Like I said, you could change the face any way you want it. I'm going to show you how to do those swirls in the background. Take your chalk it out first. If you're not comfortable with just freehanding it, I started in the middle, and then I just went around and around and made a swirl.
Tiffany says, can you inbox me the materials I'll need for when you do it again? Thank you in advance.
I will. Thanks, Tiffany. So starting in the middle, swirl around. And remember, when you watch the replay, you can pause it, you can do whatever you want, of course. Those swirls were made from that blue paint, that light blue that we used over here. So again, with my mixing tray, a little bit of white paint, and if it doesn't come out like mine didn't, I'm just going to lift it up with my paintbrush and put a little bit of white. I'm going to dip into my blue, put a little bit of blue. I made light blue in one of the corners. And I'm just going to go around my chalk line that I drew. Now, how do you get rid of the chalk line later? Once your painting is completely dry, if you can still see your chalk line, you just take a little bit of water and wipe that chalk line away. But hopefully you're able to paint right over it. Going around the swirl, right over my chalk line, going around the swirl. And then once around all those swirls, if you look at your reference photo, little dots. You can use the dots. Remember how we did the corner of the paintbrush with the dots? And then another thing I like to do sometimes is I use the back of the paintbrush too. Just the corner of the paintbrush, just lightly touching down. Isn't that fun? Okay, so with the rays, now it would be crazy for me to just sit here and paint ray after ray after ray with you. What I recommend is using each color at a time. Yellow, put the yellow down wherever you want it on every single ray. Then you move to the next color. I'm going to squish my brush around in the water. I'm going to wipe it off on my paper towel. I'm going to go into red. And then I'm going to put red down wherever I want it, right? But while I'm working with red, I have to decide how I want my face to be. There's red in the face. There's a little circle right here. Remember, whatever you have on your brush, you want to put it wherever it is in the painting. So that little cheek is just a little circle. Remember, I'm painting on an angle, so don't judge me right now. I'm painting sideways. And then there's some red here. Just throw a little red. Just throw a little red down. See? Just so random. I think I've given you all the components you need to finish your painting. There's a few dots right here. There's just detail, detail, detail. So look at the rays. Look at all the rays. Where do you want red? Where do you want orange? Where do you want yellow? Where do you want, I'm using the back of my paintbrush right now, going right into that paint cut. And look, I'm putting little dots right here. If you want some little tiny, tiny dots. If you're scared about how you want the face to be, chalk it out first. I'm not scared, so I'm just gonna squish my brush around in the water. I'm gonna wipe it off on my paper towel. I'm gonna go just a little tiny bit into my black paint, and I'm gonna draw a little squiggly line for the eye. You can chalk it out first. I'm gonna draw the line in the middle for the nose. Very small amount of chalk on my paintbrush. Very small amount of paint on my paintbrush. I'm just gonna randomly work out the nose there. And to be honest, I don't really like the mouth. So I might not have a mouth on mine. Or maybe I'll make it a smiley face. I'm not. I'm gonna draw a straight line. It's just a straight line. You might want to chalk it out first. Totally up to you. Everything else is just brush strokes of color and dots and color and dots. So have fun with it. We have been painting for about 50 minutes. 50 minutes. I hope that you really enjoyed this. I want you to take your time, work your way around the painting, drink your wine or listen to your music, and post your paintings. That's like my favorite part. That's the part that really fills me up when I see you and your friends and how your paintings turned out. So I probably won't look at it until tomorrow morning. So take your time, enjoy it, be safe. And thank you so much for painting with me today. I'm gonna post my YouTube channel. It's Angelique Paints. And on Monday, you can find this video on YouTube, okay? So thank you very much, everybody. Liza, get your cute little face in here. This is Liza. Bye, everybody. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.